So if you're unaware, there's two really good XP farms in the First Descendant. The first one is in Kingston. It is a defense mission. You're going to be fighting level 8 enemies here. These are waves of enemies coming at you. There's a lot of the enemies, so you can level up your weapons and your Descendant fairly quickly by running these defense missions. The other one is over here in the Echo Swamp. It's a little bit higher level. It's level 41. You can also level up your Descendant and weapons here very quickly. Because these are higher level enemies, you're going to be getting higher level XP or more XP. And there's a much larger density of enemies over here in the Echo Swamp versus Kingston. However, a lot of people still really like to run Kingston, and I think it is the best XP farm in the game. Well, I wanted to test both of these and run them side by side to see which one was actually the best XP farm. We have some numbers for you guys. I tested these, and we're going to take a look at which one is the better XP farm. All right, so the way that I did this is I first started in Kingston, and I recorded what my start level was, my end level was, and all of my XP along the way. So for this first test here, my start level was level 22 with my Descendant. I ended at level 25. I used a weapon that was level 1. It ended at level 13. And then my two secondary weapons were level 17. They both ended at 18. We're calling those secondary weapons because I did not touch those at all during the course of the testing. I only used one weapon in both the tests for Kingston and then over in Echo Swamp. I only utilized one weapon just so I could test the passive XP on the other weapons as well. So whenever I started again, I started at character level 22. My starting experience was 27,119. I ended at level 25 with an ending experience of 45,529. So the way I calculated the amount of experience that I gained is that I looked at this proficiency chart here, and this will be available as a link down in the description below if you need it, and we just calculated the experience. So from level 22 to 23, we gained 26,881 experience. And then from levels 23 to 24, it was a total of 110,500 experience. And then at level 25 up to level 26, we gained a partial level there and gained 45,529 experience. That gave us a total of 182,910 experience for our Descendant. You can see we went from level 22 to 25. This took 15 minutes to do because we left after wave 7. We did the same thing in the Echo Swamp. They were both 15-minute runs, and we went all the way up to wave 7. From the weapon, we went from level 1 all the way through a partial level of 13 for a total of 192,268 experience. And then for both of the other weapons, we went from level 17 into level 18 just a little bit for a total of 38,007 experience. So you'll see here that obviously we gained the same exact amount of experience for both of those weapons because we did not ever use them. So that was to be expected because that's just passive XP that we're gaining on both of those weapons. So at the end of the day, you need 1,856,800 proficiency in order to level a weapon from 1 to 40 or a Descendant from 1 to 40. The XP per session in Kingston was roughly 180,000 for my Descendant. And of course, the mileage is going to vary just a little bit on this, especially on your weapon, depending on how much you're using it, etc. But this was a pretty good middle ground, pretty good estimate of how much XP you can expect to gain in a 15-minute session whenever you're running this Kingston defense mission. So 180,000 on your Descendant, and what that's going to turn into or transition to is that you're going to have to run a total of 10 of these 15-minute missions if you leave after 15 minutes, of course. That's going to put you at roughly 155 minutes or roughly 2.5 hours or a little bit over 2.5 hours if you're just spamming these missions back to back to back. That's actually not too terrible. That means you're going to level up a Descendant in roughly 2.5 hours if all you're doing is spamming these Kingston missions. And your weapon is going to actually level up a little bit faster because we did get a total of about 190,000 experience versus 180,000 experience. So that time is going to be cut down just a little bit for the weapon that you are going to be using. So now that we know how long it's going to take us to level up a Descendant in Kingston, let's take a look at the Echo Swamp farms. We did the same exact thing here as we did in Kingston. We started our character though at level 25. We ended at level 29. We started our primary weapon, or the weapon that we were using during this mission. We started that at level 13, ended at level 20. The other two weapons, of course, we're calling those our passive weapons or our back bar weapons, secondary, whatever you want to call them. We did not use them at all. They went from level 18 to level 19. So we started off at character level 25 for the Descendant, and we ended at level 29 for a total of 230,885 experience. So if we compare that to the Kingston farm was 182,000 202,910, and this is 230,885. So you can see we did get a significant amount more of experience from the Echo Swamp farm from a 15-minute session than we were from the Kingston farm. And that is to be expected, again, because you have higher level enemies and a much bigger density of enemies whenever you're over there in Echo Swamp versus farming in Kingston. And then for our weapon, we gained a total of 7 levels, or went from level 13 to 20 with a total of 259,927 experience. We compare that to our primary weapon from the Kingston farm, and it was 192,268. So a pretty significant increase in weapon XP as well. And then the passive weapon XP we received from our other two weapons was 51,225 versus the 38,007 that we received in Kingston. So all in all, what we expected to happen did actually happen. We received more experience farming the Echo Swamp versus the Kingston farm. So for the Echo Swamp farm, just to put this in perspective of time, we had a total XP per session for our Descendant of roughly 230,000. So the total runs to get to max from level 1 as a Descendant would be 8 runs. And bear in mind, those are 15-minute runs. I was leaving after every 15 minutes, which would translate into roughly 121 minutes, or just about 2 hours. So you're going to cut off roughly 30 minutes of time on your Descendant farm if you go farm Echo Swamp versus just farming Kingston over and over and over. Echo Swamp is going to be the more efficient farm, which is exactly what we expected to have happen. But I just wanted to kind of put this into perspective in a time manner, just so you'll know, or kind of know what to expect as a time investment whenever you're choosing which farm or which area to go to farm weapon or level experience whenever you have a brand new Descendant. And then of course, farming your weapon XP for whatever weapon you are going to use is going to be a little bit faster than the time listed there. So you would farm weapon XP in the Echo Swamp for whatever primary weapon you're trying to level up. You could do that in under 2 hours if you were just spamming the Echo Swamp farm. You could go from literally 1 to 40 in less than 2 hours, which in my opinion is not bad at all. That's not a terrible amount of grind to go from level 1 to 40. Now there may be other really good farms in the game, but these are the most used farms that I know of in the First Descendant right now. I know there's a few other in-game farms that we've been messing around with, but these two are really two of the most accessible and easy farms in the game, and they really will get your Descendant leveled up pretty quickly, or your weapon leveled up pretty quickly. So if you're just wanting to try out a Descendant and level them up, these are great places to just level them up and then take them out into the field. But that's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. I just wanted to put those farms into perspective for you on a time basis. That way you'll know what to expect or how much time to invest whenever you're going to farm XP in those specific areas of the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If this video helped you out at all, or if you enjoy First Descendant content, please make sure to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. We have a lot more coming. Make sure you stop by on Twitch. We stream every single Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. CST over there on twitch.tv/BDLG. We'd love to see you come hang out over there. We have a fantastic time. And if you know of any other XP farms in the First Descendant, or places that you like to go to farm XP in the First Descendant, please make sure to drop those down in the comments below. I would love to know where those are. But that's going to do it for this. And thank you guys again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.